What if I told you that the woman most people remember as a seductress was actually one of the most intelligent and powerful rulers in the ancient world? History often tells the story of Cleopatra as a beautiful queen who charmed powerful Roman leaders. But the truth is far more fascinating. Cleopatra was a strategist, a diplomat, a ruler who spoke multiple languages and navigated one of the most dangerous political worlds in history. She formed alliances with two of Rome's most powerful men, Julius Caesar, and later Mark Antony. And for a brief moment, it looked as if she might reshape the balance of power across the Mediterranean. But her story would end in betrayal, war, and one of the most famous deaths in ancient history. Before we begin, if you enjoy discovering the hidden stories behind world history, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Ancient Ledger for more history and learning. Now let's open the next chapter. This is the story of Cleopatra, the last queen of ancient Egypt, and a woman whose fate marked the end of an empire that had lasted for thousands of years. Cleopatra was born in the year 69 BC. She entered a world of power, intrigue, and political danger. Egypt at the time was ruled by the Ptolemaic dynasty. This dynasty had controlled Egypt for nearly 3 centuries. But there was something surprising about the Ptolemies. They were not Egyptian. They were actually descendants of Greek rulers. The dynasty began with Ptolemy I, one of Alexander the Great's generals. After Alexander conquered Egypt, Ptolemy took control and established a new royal line. For generations, these Greek rulers governed Egypt, but their kingdom faced growing challenges. Rome was rising as the dominant power in the Mediterranean, and Egypt's future was becoming uncertain. Into this complex political landscape, Cleopatra was born. From an early age, she would learn that survival required intelligence, strategy, and courage. Unlike many rulers of her time, Cleopatra was highly educated. She grew up in the great city of Alexandria. Alexandria was one of the most important intellectual centers of the ancient world. It was home to the famous Library of Alexandria. Scholars from across the Mediterranean traveled there to study. Cleopatra received an education unlike most women of her time. She studied philosophy, science, mathematics, and diplomacy. But one skill made her truly exceptional. Cleopatra spoke many languages. Some ancient sources suggest she spoke 9 languages. While previous rulers relied on translators, Cleopatra could communicate directly with many different cultures. She was also one of the few Ptolemaic rulers who learned the Egyptian language. This helped her connect with the people she ruled. From a young age, Cleopatra was preparing for power. When Cleopatra's father died, she was only 18 years old. According to tradition, she was forced to rule jointly with her younger brother. His name was Ptolemy XIII. In Ptolemaic custom, siblings often married and ruled together. But the partnership between Cleopatra and her brother quickly became hostile. Court advisors began supporting the young king. They feared Cleopatra's growing independence. Soon political conflict erupted inside the royal court. Cleopatra was forced to flee Alexandria. She gathered supporters and began raising an army. Civil war was beginning in Egypt. But fate would soon bring another powerful figure into the story. A Roman general whose arrival would change Cleopatra's destiny forever. His name was Julius Caesar. Cleopatra knew she needed a powerful ally. Her brother controlled the royal court in Alexandria, and his advisors wanted Cleopatra removed permanently. But Cleopatra had a plan. At the time, Julius Caesar had arrived in Egypt. He was pursuing his rival Pompey during Rome's civil war. Pompey had been assassinated in Egypt. Now Caesar was deciding who should rule the kingdom. Cleopatra needed to reach him, but the palace was controlled by her enemies. According to one famous story, Cleopatra was secretly smuggled into the palace. She was wrapped inside a carpet or linen sack. When the bundle was opened in front of Caesar, Cleopatra emerged. The dramatic entrance captured Caesar's attention, but it was her intelligence that truly impressed him. Soon, Caesar decided to support Cleopatra. The decision would change Egypt's future forever. Caesar's decision angered Cleopatra's enemies. Her brother's advisors refused to accept the ruling. Soon, fighting broke out across Alexandria. The conflict became known as the Alexandrian War. Roman soldiers defended Cleopatra inside the city. Egyptian forces loyal to Ptolemy XIII fought back. The battle spread through streets and harbor. Ships burned in the port. Chaos filled the capital. Eventually, Roman reinforcements arrived. Cleopatra's enemies were defeated. Ptolemy XIII fled the battlefield. According to historical accounts, he drowned while escaping across the Nile. Cleopatra had secured the throne, but her alliance with Caesar would reshape both Egypt and Rome. After the war, Cleopatra and Caesar became close allies. Some historians believe they also became lovers. Together they strengthened Cleopatra's control of Egypt. Soon Cleopatra gave birth to a son. His name was Caesarion. She claimed Julius Caesar was the father. The child symbolized a powerful political alliance. Cleopatra later traveled to Rome. She stayed in a villa owned by Caesar. Many Romans were fascinated by the Egyptian queen, but others feared her influence. Rome was already unstable. Political rivalries were growing more intense, and Caesar's power worried many senators. In 44 BC, everything changed. Julius Caesar was assassinated in the Roman Senate. The future of Rome and Egypt suddenly became uncertain. After Caesar's death, Rome fell into political uncertainty. New leaders began competing for control. One of the most powerful among them was Mark Antony. Antony was a skilled general and close ally of Caesar. He was given authority over Rome's eastern territories. This included regions near Egypt. Soon, Antony summoned Cleopatra to meet him. He wanted to understand her loyalty to Rome. Cleopatra saw another opportunity. She traveled to meet Antony in a grand display of wealth and power. Her arrival was unforgettable. Ships decorated in gold, perfumes filling the air, music echoing across the water. Antony was impressed. Their meeting would begin a partnership that would change history. Cleopatra and Antony quickly formed a strong connection. Their partnership was both political and personal. Together, they worked to strengthen their influence. Antony relied on Egypt's wealth. Cleopatra relied on Rome's power. Their alliance helped secure control over key territories. Cleopatra returned to Egypt with renewed authority. Antony spent time in Alexandria. Their relationship became widely known. Some Romans began to worry. They believed Antony was becoming too influenced by Egypt. Meanwhile, Cleopatra gave birth to children with Antony. Their alliance was growing stronger, but not everyone in Rome supported it. Back in Rome, another leader was rising. His name was Octavian. He was the adopted son of Julius Caesar. Octavian began building his own power base. He saw Antony as a rival. Tensions between the two leaders increased. Octavian used politics to challenge Antony. He portrayed Antony as abandoning Rome. He also criticized Cleopatra's influence. The Roman public began to take sides. The rivalry was becoming unavoidable. Two powerful leaders, two different visions for Rome's future, and Egypt stood at the center of it all. The tension between Octavian and Antony reached its peak. Both sides prepared for a decisive confrontation. This conflict would determine the future of Rome. Cleopatra supported Antony's position. Egypt's resources were committed to the cause. Naval forces gathered across the Mediterranean. The moment of decision had arrived. The confrontation would take place near Actium. This would become one of the most important events in ancient history. The outcome would reshape the entire region. The confrontation at Actium changed everything. Octavian's forces gained the advantage. Antony's position began to weaken. Cleopatra made a crucial decision. She withdrew her fleet from the conflict. Antony followed. The outcome shifted the balance of power. Octavian emerged as the dominant leader. The future of Egypt was now uncertain. Cleopatra and Antony returned to Alexandria, but their position had become fragile. After Actium, Octavian advanced toward Egypt. Cleopatra and Antony prepared to defend their kingdom, but their resources were limited. Support was fading. Alexandria faced growing pressure. The final phase of the conflict approached. Egypt's long history as an independent power was ending. The Ptolemaic dynasty had ruled for centuries. Now its final chapter was being written. Cleopatra knew the end was near. Her power had diminished. Her allies were gone. She retreated to her palace. She considered her options. History records different versions of what happened next, but all agree on one thing. Cleopatra chose not to be taken to Rome as a captive. Her story would end in Egypt. The last queen would make her final decision. With Cleopatra's passing, Egypt's independence ended. Octavian took control of the kingdom. Egypt became part of the Roman world. The age of the pharaohs was over. A civilization that had lasted thousands of years had come to an end. Rome would soon become an empire, and Octavian would become Augustus, the first Roman emperor. Cleopatra's story did not end with her death. Her legacy continued through history. She became one of the most famous figures of the ancient world. Writers, historians, and artists told her story for centuries. Some focused on her beauty, others on her intelligence and power. But Cleopatra was more than legend. She was a ruler navigating one of the most complex political worlds in history. Her life marked the end of ancient Egypt and the beginning of a new era under Rome. Cleopatra's story is often remembered as a tale of beauty and romance, but her life was far more complex. She was a ruler, a strategist, a leader navigating one of the most dangerous political worlds in history. Her decisions shaped the fate of Egypt and influenced the rise of the Roman Empire. Her story reminds us that history is not only shaped by empires, but by individuals who stand at the center of change. Another chapter from the ancient ledger.